Hello, this is Benny, and this is the very first episode of the podcast that I'm creating where I discuss McDonald's. Alright, so ignore all this. Benny's gonna cut this shit out. He's trying to learn how to talk right now. So, Benny. Alright. Hello, this is Benny, and this is the podcast where I'm going to be discussing everything I want to discuss about McDonald's. Not necessarily just McDonald's in itself, food, customer-wise, but everything on the inside, employees, management, all of everything that I currently know and will know as this podcast progresses, because I happen to have a deep passion for the structure of McDonald's. If you've seen the movie The Founder, that's amazing to me. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful creation. How McDonald's is just everywhere. Everyone consumes McDonald's. McDonald's is a daily essential for everybody almost, and that's a wonderful thing in my eyes. But the main goal of this podcast is to bring light to the management all across the McDonald's, American-wide, because it is such a big impact, the role the manager has on each of its employees and the customers. I was fortunate enough to, whenever I got promoted to manager, a year or two after, they had, for some reason, wanted there to be a consistent 10 total managers. We have a store that I worked at in a small town, and we had like highway traffic and stuff, so it was very busy. It was the place that town went to, so 10 managers was the idea. Didn't matter if they were good managers or not, but managers. But no, it was me, 1, 2, and I'm going to refrain from using names, and if I tell these stories again, say 5 years from now, I will use names, because as this is still within 5 years recent, I do not want, even though I know no one may listen to this, I always refrain from using names, because names are personal, people get offended. It's a tough world out there, I understand. So I don't use names. But this leadership class, I had me, 1 male, 2 males, 1 girl, 2 girls. No, I didn't go with her. So I think it was, okay, so I am currently driving on the highway, and I passed a cop and I have the phone to my face, but I have cruise control on, so I am okay. So it was a five employees, 5 managers that went, and it was a leadership class, and essentially it was teaching you how to handle your employees and how to motivate them to want to work for you to meet your goals as a manager, teaching you the importance of delegation, how to delegate without personal feelings being hurt, and all that stuff. Prior to this, I had my own joy. What the heck? My own joy? I believe I am. Hold on, there's another cop. Don't look at the cop, because if you look at a cop, they'll know you're dangerous. Yeah, I'm on the 287 highway going from North Texas down south to Dallas, if anyone's curious. Dude, yeah, so we went, and I learned, like, the idea was, I don't know what I was just saying, and I apologize. You don't care. But it taught you how to care about people and how to run it. Oh, I was talking about how I'm a genius. Okay, so basically, I believe I'm going to be revolutionary in the field of psychology in the future. I have taken on a mission of bettering the world. So, it starts with this podcast, if anyone wants to listen. But prior to all all the McDonald's life, I did care about people, and I had all these ideas of how to like bring insight on how to kind of better your life. I just wanted happiness to go around. I understand myself now, but sorry. So the leadership class, it taught you how to be a leader, someone that when you clock in, everything is better. Everyone can look up to you for help, advice, anything, and because any job in the world is going to be very personal, because each person is taking times out of their human life, their limited timed life, their 80 years of life. They're spending time to go to this job, and you have managers who are managers, and maybe they're on top of the world in their personal life. So they come to work feeling, because when I was a manager, the first time, I had to left McDonald's, came back, but the first time I was doing things where I was a child. I was 18, 19 probably, but I was grooving. I had my vibe in life, so I came in, no worries. I was basically choosing to put my energy to care about this store that I was working in, and I was a superhero. Like I don't think I was good in comparison to a lot of people, but in my store I was very good in comparison to everyone else. And leadership wise, I'm off the chart, crazy. But this is gonna be a rough thing for me, because I think I get lost in track, lost in thought, lost in talk. So yeah, everything's personal because everyone is choosing to be... Okay, yeah, manager. Okay, manager talk. So what it is if you are vibing in your personal life, work becomes a part of your life, and like you're consciously choosing to apply yourself. Other people don't want to be there. I didn't realize that when I was the first manager. I was just this young dude, and I was raised in the idea of a Hank Hill world. My father brought me up with the mentality of Hank Hill. Like, there was an episode where he and Bobby were talking about how Hank has a guy for everything, and then at the end, Bobby was like, well, you know what? I don't know the dude's name. Jack. You know Jack? You just might be my electronics guy, Bobby said to him. I was raised in this kind of mentality of a world, so I thought work was the same. My father brought me up with the mentality of McDonald's, that it used to be structured as airtight as a military organization, where it's dutiful, it's all perfect. And that's what I wanted, and that's what I was trained in. I was trained in a rough morning shift environment with a full Hispanic staff. It was all women, and they all knew hard work. That's what they were. One lady did the 8-hour shift in the morning and then would go clean 3 houses, a school, a doctor's. I was wild. She got 3 hours of sleep at night, but she was doing it because she wanted her 6 kids just have everything. It's wild. But I was raised in a rough go mentality, and it was, to me, beautiful, because they were, when I started at this store, it was an airtight team. When you have a team, the team. It was the team, and I contributed very well in their image, and oftentimes would be left alone to handle tasks that I was not yet prepared for, in sense of crazy million burger orders by yourself while their managers are mopping the floor, and I'm doing the grill and all the food making by myself when I'm a couple months new, and then getting yelled at for not being fast enough. For me personally, I thrived off that. But yeah, so hello. I don't know what I'm getting at, but I'm going to be discussing with these series literally all of them. I just have stories to tell. I like telling my stories, and if people listen to my stories, it's going to be really cool, because I love telling my stories. I worked at Toys R Us 2014 to 2017, and I had a name tag. They gave us new name tags a couple years in, and I got to choose a phrase at the bottom. I still have the name tag, and it says "awesome storyteller." Yeah, all the other ones were lame and too personal. Awesome ant. I didn't want any of that. Yeah, so I really, really want to hit the mentality of bad management. If anyone listening knows Sir Camelot on YouTube, he covers similar things. His whole thing is retail management, and every single person in the world works. You work. Everyone works. Everyone has bad managers because people are bad. That's problem with life is not that life is hard, it's that the people you're sharing life with are just making it crappy for you. So yeah, and I've worked. Whenever I got my job there, my father had previously worked there. He was a floor manager. He was probably ranked number 2. And the reason I say I want to keep names out because my only experience is with the people I have worked with. The people I have worked with, some of them will be working for McDonald's for a little longer. And if they discover me, I cannot be talking about them publicly like this. So you understand. But my father, he had worked there, floor manager. He was probably ranked number 2. And I'm going to say this, so if either of you managers that I worked with that are currently working and you don't believe me or accept me, he has the ideas. He knows what is wrong with the store. He knows how to run a business very well. I learned from him. But he, my father, was working with other people who believe that they are indeed the highest royalty ever. So you know what it is like when you have the correct idea, but the person you were trying to persuade to follow your idea will not even tolerate the existence of your opinion. So that was him. So he, by word of mouth, would never be number 2 because other people would talk themselves up higher than him. It would talk down on him. Maybe, perhaps, not really. But I got the job in his image. Yeah, I don't know what I was saying over there. But I really want to hit the idea of rough management because in the leadership class, there was this one video that stuck out to me, and it's also wild. Like I know I'm a good leader prior because I take on as much stress as I could to make sure my employees were not in a disgruntled enough mood to not put their effort in to help me out. I had a solid team for a bit. They put in their effort because of how much I cared, and it was very nice. But listen here, okay? The video in the leadership course, it was an animation, and it had a person go through the drive-thru, and they had a nice experience with the person in the drive-thru, the customer and the employee, positive interactions. The customer left with a positive emotion, and then it showed the positive emotion disease where they interacted with someone else a little more positive because they had a previous positive interaction. So their vibe in their head is positive. The next person they meet, they're going to charge them up a little bit. The next person that person meets again. So one positive reaction from the drive-thru associate can have an effect in a way that you don't even know. Someone you've never ever will ever meet is in a better mood because you had a little bit bigger of a smile when you were talking to that one customer. Same as if you are more on the negative side. If you are on the negative side towards the customer, they are going to go around uncharging people's positive vibes. It's simple and it's understandable. That really stuck out to me because it's in every situation. If you're taught any human You have the power of making their life immensely better or immensely worse based on how you choose to vibrate your verbal words. If you choose to talk in a more tone, that energy, it's an energy, it's a vibration. You were sending this tone into another person's brain, releasing the chemicals in their brain associated with that trigger tone, putting them in a worse mood just because you narrowed your eyebrows a little bit. It is insane how much impact you have in other people's lives, even if you don't think you exist. There was a man, this is probably 2015 or 16 at Toys R Us. He was a customer, walked in, and he literally he was just a goofy looking man. He had a smile on his face, said hello to me, and he was very happy, like he wanted me to feel his hello. And it was, I still think about this goofy man today. People are impactful. So, hey, if you remember, I said I'm driving right now. About an hour ago, there was this teal semi just speeding along, and I was like, this guy's in a hurry. So I let him pass, and then about 30 minutes after, I got in front of him somehow, and he's way behind me. I always let people pass if they're in a hurry. I'm a super nice guy. But yeah, so it's wild because that's how life works. Where are we at? I was just gonna upload this straight raw to a podcast, right? Whatever, to a podcast. And since this is my first one, I don't know, people will listen, yeah? I can just chop off the first couple seconds. I don't know. So, yeah, management. Everyone sucks. Sir Camelot, this is what I was saying. He was hitting that. Everyone works. Yeah, I think I kind of... Alright. So, yeah, just hang out, man. If you just subscribe, follow this, I'm gonna have way more. And if you would just... If whatever you're following, if whatever you hear this on, whatever you see this on, had you made it this far to the end of this episode, follow it, subscribe it, like it, think about it, resonate with it, do something with it, because this is gonna grow. I am hoping to make this relevant. I'm not hoping this podcast will be relevant to people. People will come here. I want to communitize this podcast, this series, this movement. It's gonna be a thing. Oh shit, I'm sounding like those gurus on the tube. Nah, like, I'm wanting to bring light to the higher ups first in McDonald's and then other corporations, because the managers that control the world are terrible in most situations because of the people they have to work for or they work with. Everyone is in a constant downpour if you rely on the system of work. In a lot of situations, people do not separate themselves from work. People don't have lives. They have home, they have job, they have shopping. A lot of people live this life, and they go to work. A lot of people, especially now in the COVID world, a lot of people only see humans when they go to work or they go shopping. A lot of life has stopped. People don't see people. They go to work and they see crappy people. They go to work and their managers are crappy. They go to work trying to have a good time because they're depressed and they don't want to be alive, because a lot of people are living pointless lives because they fell into the system of the work that you have created. You managers hearing this, you have the power to literally change everyone's life, yet you are crappy and mean to people, and it is unnecessary. You have heard... there are stores, Walmart. I have heard a lot of people say they hate working for Walmart. There is a lot of people who will say that the people up in charge, they're, well, quite unpleasant, if you could possibly say evil people. You can go and find the vibe of a Walmart staff, and it's no good. It's no good. And McDonald's is beautiful because even if you hate the people you work with, you are a team and you have to perform. You have to work well together. If you mess up, everything goes bad. If they mess up, everything goes bad. But if they mess up, you have to help them fix it. You have to, as a team, figure it out. I'll say my buddy Brett, if I'm over here working and Brett, you know what Brett does? Messes up. Brett, how dare you mess up? Everything is behind now. That's not how it works. Brett, you made a mistake. Oh man, I'm sorry. Alright, dog. So, this is what we gotta do. Okay, I need 16 pieces of regular meat right now. Can you, as fast as possible, drop 8 here, and then drop 16 more on the left 2 grills, first and second, so that whenever these are used up, I'll have 16 more because I have 2 Big Macs on the line, and I think this person just ordered 2 cheeseburgers. Okay? Go! I don't know. That's how I play. We're children. Everyone is a kid. That's the whole philosophy. We're all children that just grew up, blah blah, that stuff. But I look at Brett. I don't see this man putting meat down. I see Brett. I see this goofy kid like, oh, I messed up. Dang it. And I'm like, oh, you didn't mess up. I mean, you did. But we'll fix it. Let's go. Get some more meat down. It's all good. That meat costs 0 cents. It costs you nothing to waste that meat. You shouldn't waste it. But oh well, you made a mistake. Oops. Let's get the food out to the customer now. I have been yelled at so many times by managers. I have seen managers treat people terribly, and it's ridiculous. Okay. I will transfer this part of the cast. I like calling it a cast. I'm gonna transfer this part to the front because the front was crappy, and I want people to get the vibe of what I actually am gonna be talking about. Because this is my first one. I'm just spitting facts into it. But I found my vibe at the end. This is my vibe. And I want this to grow. So, I was going to try to name this Talkin' Donalds. Because it's really cool. But, John Boy Media, he's got Talkin' Baggage. He's got Talkin' Baseball, Talkin' Knicks, Talkin' Yanks, Talkin'. So, I don't know if I can do that. But I could do something like, I don't know. If literally anybody hears this, comment a name that I can have. I'll brainstorm it up. But right now it's Benny's Donald's. Benny Donald. Donald Benny. I don't know. Yeah. So I hope this works. See you all on the flip side.